Hi guys, thank you for clicking on this video and thank you for choosing my content. For my returning subscribers, kindly thank you. And for the new subscribers, karibuni sana. My friends whom I sent text and told them that I have a channel to support me and to subscribe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for believing in me and thank you for wanting to see me grow and thank you for trusting in my content. So in the last episode we talked about background, school, growing up, yes, and family, blended family, finding my biological dad. And today let's talk about the effects, the effects the effects I got, or the effects that might get to any kid being raised in such a background. So for me, I think I'll sum it all up. Being in a different background, being raised by my grandmother, having a stepdad, having my biological dad, and also losing my grandmother. That is loss and grief, right? So I'll sum them up together, and I think I will help someone going through this. What do I call it? Having the same problems as me. Let me call them problems because no one ever wants to be born and get into such an environment. And with all due respect, I said if this is not the kind of content you would like to listen to, kindly just pass and let me talk to those who have been in the same journey with me. So let me give a brief of whatever we talked in the last episodes. So we talked growing up with grandmother and then shifting to a new home and then separation happening, then finding out that I have a biological dad and then losing my grandmother. So all that gave me childhood trauma. And as much as they affected me, I never saw them manifest in my teenagehood that much. All these came to affect me when I was in my adult stage. So, first thing that I noticed is that I had a lot of low self-esteem. It affected me when I was in primary because I remember I didn't have courage to participate in classwork when the teacher says that raise up your hand. And when the teacher asks you a question, I remember I used to answer, but still in fear, am I saying the correct thing? So I never believed in myself. And I think that came as a result of mom being divorced. The society believed that by then, because I believe in this century, things are different. By then, the society believed that if you're a divorced person, and you have kids, they I think they referred to you as, how do I say it, as outcast, or they said that you cannot amount to anything. Because remember, my grandmother was a single parent, and then here my mom is divorced. So what do you think the society is talking about them? Yeah. So all those words were being talked, and remember, you are growing up, so you can get little things here and there. So that gave me a low self-esteem, and it hit me a bit. Uh, but I tried to overcome it, and I'm still working on that. I can't lie that I've passed that, but I'm trying to deal with that. So the other thing is I noticed that I had withdrawals, meaning I didn't want to be in a crowd of people, or rather with friends. I decided to be alone because withdrawal, I think, comes with trust, because everyone who knew that I'm from this kind of a background. My mom is this, my dad is this, my stepdad is this. So I found myself feeling as if I do not resemble the other people. I'm not from the same background. I'm not from the same family as them. I could see people they have a father, they have a mother, they are all together, they have a one common family that is nice. So that really hit me, and I felt as if I'm not worthy as they are. So I used to withdraw a lot. Even we are going for meetings or for work. Once I'm done with maybe a patient I was attending to, I remember I used to just take my earphones, put on, listen to something, but not to interact with people. Because remember, back then, when we moved out to grandmother's, people started talking and saying that we should, we are not supposed to be compared with others. Or I don't know whether you get me. I don't know why I can't get the exact word to say. People see that you are a mistake. People see that your parents made a mistake, or rather, your parents made a wrong choice. So I found myself thinking that I'm not supposed to be with these people. I should be alone. So I had a lot of withdrawals. Even when going to maybe uh, meetings, when having job, when at work, maybe when we go for maybe for tea breaks, for lunch, I never used to be with people a lot. I used to be by myself. So another thing I remember is I had no proper friends. Also, my dating was a mess, and I lost my trust. Why? This is the reason. I thought everybody will not understand me, and every minute that I shared something to a friend that I'm feeling a bit stressed, I'm feeling like this and this, I lost friends because they felt I did not belong to where they belong. What am I going to say? People felt that if I'm from this kind of a background, then I should not be in their circles. You get me? Also, when I started dating, I remember someone, not someone even, someone who was trying to hit on me, and then I think I assumed them, and instead of being contented that I do not want them in my life, they told me that who can even make a family with you? Your mother is even divorced, so you cannot make a nice family, or rather, you cannot make it being in marriage. That's someone who told me. I think that I was in my early 20s, and also when I was in my mid 20s, I had a disagreement with someone I was dating, and they told me, and I think I told my mother. Then I just went to solve issues that with that person, and the response that they gave me is, "How come that your mother can give you an advice and yet she's not married? She's a divorced woman." So tell me how that answer does to me. Today, of course it destroyed my self-esteem. It destroyed my trust with men. And another thing, growing up, I saw my uncle is the first male figure in my life. And then we shift, I see a dad, I see brothers. And then before separation happens, I find out that he is not my biological dad. And then later on, as a teenager, definitely you have problems. Why is my dad not here? So I started having trust towards, or rather, trust issues towards men. So I would definitely have male friends or be in a relationship with someone, but in between the dating period, I used to ask myself, this man turn out like what I've seen when I'm growing up. So in between, I'll do a silly mistake or just go out with someone else so that I can break up this. Who does that so that I can break up this person I was dating. That's a mistake number one. Mistake number two is when it came to dating also, you will find yourself, and I believe some ladies have done that, or and also men. You'll find that you are trusting too much, because when dating this person, you want to trust that they are not like your biological dad. Like for instance, he left you, he's not with you again. So I think when you're dating this person, you want them to stay and not to leave you. You want them to stay in your life. And even when they're doing something wrong to you, you cannot see that. Reason being, you still want them to be close to you. And for lack of a better word, let me say that you're still looking for that father figure in that person. I stand to be corrected. So you will find many people in wrong relationships just because they are trying to find that one thing that lacked in their life. So yeah, I did that mistake a lot. The other thing is I had a lot of, how do I call it? I had a lot of people pleasing, and me trying to people please. I think it's because I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have friends I can call family, and I want to have friends that I can call siblings. So I find myself going out of my way to do something just because I want to make someone happy. You get me? Even if that thing that you're telling me to do was not in my plan or in my timetable, I'll find myself sacrificing and doing all that. And with that, I came to understand that you can have toxic friends who will take advantage of your habit of people pleasing, and that's not really good. And also I found having the habit of self-doubt. I doubted myself a lot, a lot. The first incident is when I was in primary. A teacher asked me something. I knew the correct answer, and I knew that is the correct thing that I should say. But I said it in a mumbling way that even the teacher didn't get what I said. But the teacher made something out of a big issue out of that, and started giving me a nickname that I didn't even understand. Just because I had a lot of self doubt. And it also appeared when I had completed my internship. I remember I was with a patient in at work in my room, and when the patient came, when I tried to attend to this patient, I couldn't. I knew exactly what I'm supposed to do with this patient, but I felt that I'm doing the wrong thing to this person. And I remember having anxiety with that patient. And I remember I called one of my colleagues and said, "See, come and see this patient. I'm having some headache." I didn't have headache. It was just self doubt. I didn't believe in myself that I can attend to that patient and just sum it all that I can really attend to this patient well. But I had a lot of self doubt. Another thing that started affecting me is I started having anxieties, anxieties that never hazikuwa zinaisha. I would get into my house, and when I'm doing something, I will start shaking or shaking out of nowhere, shaking, and you cannot explain where the shaking is coming from. You just go get a cup, it breaks. Get a plate, it breaks. Or just go somewhere and you just drop everything. Or just sit down because you do not know what is going on. Anxiety. Or rather, let me say that, give another example. If I'll be going to work tomorrow and I decide to go driving myself, the previous night I will sleep thinking of how I'll wake up, go start my car, how I will be, or I will drive from the parking lot from home How I will go and park the car when I get to to work and start having anxiety. Will I be able to drive? And will I be driving well on the highway? You see, the kind of anxiety that I had. And also, I figured out also I had anger. I would react to anything. Even if I saw a friend amekosewa na mtu, nitajipata kwa hiyo mix. I want to defend that person. As if ni mimi nimekosewa. Who does that? Anger. Also, I found myself, the anger that I had, I found myself taking it out on my son unknowingly. So he would do something or he would just be playing, and out of nowhere I will shout, even if it's something he dropped on the floor, like a pencil or his toys. I would find myself shouting at him. And one day he told me, Mommy, you're shouting a lot. Why are you shouting at me? Can't you talk in a low tone? That's when I figured it out that I'm losing it. And when my son started crying because I'm shouting a lot, I was like, oh, hurt people. And I didn't want to continue hurting my son. So about the anger part, I worked on it. Totally. I worked on it. These days I'm trying to be patient and not rush out shouting as I used to do. So the other thing that affected me is it's what do I call it? Growing up, I was an extrovert. I used to mingle with people a lot, give stories. I would fit into every group or every place that I find friends or other people we know, kuchapa story. I was an extrovert. But since then, I started experiencing all these changes because of the childhood trauma. I started being an introvert. My goodness, and being an introvert can be tiresome. Being an introvert whereby just from work, home, sleep, work, home, and not even wanting to go out. And if I have a friend, maybe one, and also that one friend, I'm still struggling to go and meet up with them. And also when I'm at home, I'm avoiding phone calls. I'm that one person that hates calls. Just send me a text. It really affected me. And also, what else? When I'm at home, I find myself most of the time I want to be on my phone, my earphones, and even forget that my son wants my attention. Like I literally do not want anybody close to me. And even when I'm going out or going to work, if I notice that someone is also getting out of their house, or maybe I'm meeting someone on the road and I know this person, they must talk to me. I would rather fake a call. I would rather fake a call just to avoid talking to that person. So yeah, I changed to being an introvert, and it's not a nice place to be. So sometimes you just love your own time. So I think that is the big effect that it has ever had on me. Some might I always have my notes in me because I know I forgot a lot. So finding out all these, if you find out that you have all these, what really helped me is that I should not play I should not always play the victim. Stop having the victim mentality. I know it's not that easy as it said, but I tried working on it. I never wanted to, because for the longest time I used to sit down and say, this was done to me, I didn't see this, I didn't see this. Like I always wanted to be the victim of the situation. But from from the time that I started playing, I'm not saying that I'm not the victim, or rather not playing as the victim. all this is going it's going reducing oh, what do I say, yeah, all these effects are getting away, and I'm a better person, and nothing triggers me anymore, because I used to get a lot of triggers. So when you have the ability to know that you should not play the victim, and or rather you should stop having the victim mentality, all these will come and go, and you will conquer a lot, and you'll not be in a cocoon whereby you think that someone wronged you and you feel that you cannot do something great. So yeah, I hope someone has gotten this. So also change your mindset. When you change your mindset, you'll stop thinking that you are the victim here, and yeah, all will be well. And I wish you well. I wish everybody who is in this journey and everybody who is experiencing such a thing, just know that a day at a time, and stop having the victim mentality, and all will be well. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, and thank you for watching.